Hey guys, I wanted to take a moment and show you kind of how to set your fire pit up. I've got a 48-inch propane fire pit here. I've got a mercury ignition on it, and I've got a 60-minute LP timer. What that does is shut the gas off for any instance that somebody left it on. This fire pit's going to a commercial facility, so it's something that guests will use, and I just want to be able to show you how to set it up, get it running, and how to use it properly. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Fire pit's going to come wrapped in a blanket and wrapped in the cover. Maybe it'll have some saran wrap on it. You'll have a bag over your lid and a bag over your burn plate right here. This burn plate comes out if it needs to, but normally we'll wrap them so they stick and stay into the fire pit. So we'll set the lid aside for now, but what we're going to do first is get the internals ready to go. It's not too complicated, but this is going to be a customer supplied propane tank. So you can get one of these at the grocery store, Ace Hardware, True Value, or wherever your hardware store is. Home Depot has them too. This door was optioned for this fire pit was optioned for an internal propane tank, so it's got a door on it. We're going to come in here. This is our regulator and our hose system. It's going to be zip tied. I'm going to cut your zip tie so the guy's ready to go. I always recommend sticking your hose in just over to the side a little bit like that. Propane tank now. Make sure that it's in an off position before you stick it in. If you come up a little closer, you can see I'm putting it all the way in, seating it to where it's flat. The tank sits snugly within my heat shield. That's going to protect it from any overflow heat or anything like that. But once it's in place, grab your regulator and your hose, and you screw it on. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a wiggle to get the threads lined up, but that's make sure it's nice and snug. Regulator's on, propane tank is off. I'm going to go ahead and check over here first. Come over here and take a look at this. I'm going to make sure that my regulator's on. My valve here is in the off position. My timer is also in the off position because I don't want gas to start flowing. So I know this is off. We're off here. My safety emergency shut off is in the deactivated position. Now I'm going to come on this side and turn my gas on. I'm going to shut my door. So all that stuff is done. We got this guy set up. First thing we need to do is turn the gas on to the timer. This is our end fail safe. So this needs to be turned on before you do anything here with the ignition system. So we're going to go ahead and let's say we're going to use the fire pit for 20 minutes. You're going to turn it on. You can hear an audible tick just like a kitchen timer. But once this guy's on, now we can get this started. You're going to start in the off position. You're going to push it down lightly, turning it to the pilot position. You'll feel it press in. It'll go in just like a 1/4 inch. You're going to hold it and you're going to listen until you can hear a little bit of gas coming out of the pilot. Once you've pumped out all the air, you'll be able to press the button next to it, which is the igniter. It's going to click, click, click. So come up a little closer so you can see what it looks like whenever the pilot is lit. We need it to run for just a couple moments in order to get the thermocoupler up to temperature. So I would say seconds. I don't even think minutes. 10, 15 seconds, it'll be up to temperature, ready to go. Now that that's been warmed up, I can release the pressure I put on this valve, and the pilot will still stay lit. Slowly, I'm going to rotate the valve to the left, and that will ignite the rest of the jets on this style burner. Right now this fire pit is set up with a warming trends 120,000 BTU burner. That will be specific to your fire pit, but for the most part, igniting it is the same way every time. You can adjust your flame height here. Turning it all the way to the left will give you maximum flame height, or if you prefer, you can go down, no, not that far, but you can go down and get much, much smaller flame. in the case that this fire pit is left in the on position, and let's say your guests are headed out, our timer will run its course and will shut down the flame on its own. Now once that thermocoupler in this system is cooled down, it will lock everything down, so you'll have to reset this here to the off position, and then you can start it over. But this is our safety net, just in case our guests are using this fire pit and get distracted. We don't want to pump all the gas out or have any kind of risk on a commercial property or commercial use situation. All of that being said, what I'm going to do now is load it with the rock. I want to show you guys how I'm going to do that, and we'll light it again, give you the full appearance, and it's ready to go. Give me 1 second, I'm going to grab a blanket. Alright, I'm back with my blanket. This is the blanket that's going to come with your fire pit. Every fire pit will come wrapped just to protect it in transit. So use this guy as you're setting up all your lava rock or your fireglass, whatever you chose to go with. So we're going to stick this on the edge. It's going to help us to not scratch the top surface of the fire pit with our bucket. Each fire pit's going to come with a bucket of rolled lava rock. These guys are kind of heavy, so you might want some help to do it. We're going to take the bucket, make sure that your pan is squared up. Come and take a look at this guy here. They're a little bit offset as far as the burner in the pan, but we just want to make sure that it's not way further over to one side or the other. So we're going to go find the center, looking at these jets, making sure the flame's coming out of the center as good as we can get it. Now with the blanket on, bucket ready to go, we're going to hold over the front of this guy, and slowly we're going to dump all right on top. Everything's in there. We're going to go ahead and spread it out. In this situation, you want to make sure that you can leave this cover exposed, and you'll have some other brass exposed too. That's totally fine, that's normal. You may have extra rock left over if you get one of my log sets. Not a big deal, you don't need to use all the rock. I just don't want I don't want the fire pit to show up with not enough rocks. So it's all set up now. One thing that we're going to do before we light it again is we're going to check that our lid fits. Again, this applies to folks that just are getting the fire pit on its own, not with logs, but this lid should fit flush in that pan. So we want it to be, well, yeah, flush all the way around. You might need to wiggle some of those rocks down. Yeah. There we go. And it's good to go. Now, pull your lid back off, and we're going to do our final test, making sure that everything is exactly how it should be operating. Alright, we know the fire pit is all the way set up, so we're going to go ahead and start by turning our timer on. We're going to go to our valve, pressing it in till we go to the pilot section. I can hear the pilot and this valve pressed in about 1/4 of an inch. Now that that's been pumping for a second, we know that there's gas going to our pilot, and we can hit the igniter, and then it ignites. Usually about 10 seconds, like I said before. Sometimes if you're like relighting the fire pit, it's not going to be a 10-second start. It'll already have heat in it, and it'll light up immediately. All right, it's been going. Now we can go ahead and turn it on. I would say take it slow as you turn the fire pit on, just to make sure that all of those jets light up evenly. Sometimes if there's a lot of wind, one side will light up before the other side. We don't want to pump a bunch of excess fuel into that burner plate before everything is all lit. So take this part slow when you're ready to turn it up. And this is it. This is a 48-inch fire pit with an internal propane tank. It's a full-size propane tank. It's going to weigh just under 200 pounds, so 2 guys can move it pretty easily. And that's it. Thank you very much, guys.